Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. Some of you may have noticed I've been out of the shop a bit, and there's a few reasons for that. One of them is I'm trying to get my wrist to heal, but there's also been a lot of deals cooking, so kind of a mixture of both. And what you're looking at is one of those deals. This is a Honda GX270 9 horsepower motor. It is off of a generator. I was up at P&T Surplus yesterday, and they were just kind of putting this thing out, and I asked my buddy Tim what the story was on it, and he says, you know, it's here on consignment. We're after $125 for it. You know, we're pretty solid on that price. We're just putting it out. He goes, if it's here for another 2 weeks, we'll probably work on it, but right now we're at $125. So there was a generator on it, a generator head that went bad. He says he knew the person who brought it in and guarantees it, and it's solid and all of that kind of stuff. He says there aren't that many hours on it. So, you know, I bought it. I checked the oil and, you know, pulled the string a couple of times just to make sure it had compression. And he said, you know, once again, if there's a problem, you know, like, quickly bring it back. Don't, like, wait 6 months and bring it back. So, here it is, $125 GX270. Obviously it's a key start, came with both keys. I hooked my jump pack to the starter. I trickled some gas here because you could see it's not wearing a gas tank. It does have the air filter assembly and it's complete, and you guys could kind of see what the exhaust system looks like. I'll turn it around after I start it and show that to you. That's kind of a way you could guess how many hours are on it. So I think that's choke. So it starts and stops that easily. It doesn't smoke. All good things. You know, you see stuff like this, and you always you know, should I or shouldn't I, and what's it really worth? So that's what the exhaust looks like. To me, it doesn't look like it's got a lot of hours on it. So I don't know. Typically, or you can, not all that hard, you could go on eBay right now, and for $180 you can buy basically that engine right there, and that is a 7 horsepower electric start, and it's a clone, obviously. So is it worth $125 for an electric start Honda with 2 more horsepower that appears to be in good shape? I mean, it is used, but it does appear to be in good shape. You could see how easily it started. This is the second time I started it today. I started a couple of hours ago just to see what I had, and it started that easy, and it started that easy this time too. So I don't know, is it worth $125? Where's it gonna go? I have that what's it called? It's called a Kawasaki Mule. It was a 450. I think it was known as a KEF 450 Mule. That I swapped the drive chain out of it, and I put a regular you know, Predator 6.5 horsepower in it with the pull start. And in my mind, I always wanted to upgrade that to a little more horsepower and an electric start, because it's kind of inconvenient to have to kind of bend over and futz around to get to the string to start it, right? It'd be much more convenient to do the electric start. It'd also be more convenient because it has a torque converter, and if you guys are familiar with torque converters, when you put them in neutral, they have a tendency to creep, and depending on how low you have the engine idle, they could be, you know, spinning pretty good in neutral. So I have a golf cart rear axle in that thing, and you could call it a transaxle because it has forward and reverse. And the problem is, if you start it in neutral and then go to put it in forward or reverse, it has a tendency to clunk pretty hard, and it'd be pretty easy to destroy the transaxle in that thing, and I really don't want to. So the way I would set it up is that if you're in forward, it'll start, or in reverse, it'll start, but it won't start in neutral unless, in my case, obviously, I'll know how to bypass the switch, and that means if you want to put it in reverse, you have to take it out of forward, and as you do, the motor will shut down, and then when you go into reverse, right, it'll allow you to restart it. So that's what I'm thinking of doing with it. I've read comments from people who've had Honda engines that they take not even good care, just barely treat them with any dignity at all. And I hear of thousands of hours, 1,500, 2,000 hours without too much trouble. Your typical generator head, depending on how hard you're working it and all, even the better ones don't go that far. So I'm thinking this should be very long-lived engines. You guys will tell me what you think. So that's what I'm thinking of doing with it. And there we are. So I'm off to cut grass. Hopefully it doesn't take me too horribly long. I also have to get out the push mower and do a bunch of cleanup because I'm like, you know, kind of crowding myself in with weeds. And if you let that get to be too much, as the weeds move toward the garage, so do mice and ticks and all that other kind of stuff. And before you know it, I'll be lying on the garage floor here, and I'll end up getting bit by something that I wouldn't have gotten bit from if I took better care of the grass. So, and by the way, you guys too, make sure you cut your grass. Keep that tick population down. All right, everyone, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Please remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and if you get a deal on a Honda, you got to go out and buy it. Bye now.